Hey everyone, this is part two for the circuit scale builder preparing for NSTA, and today I'll be going over like a more technical argument. So Willie already went over the lay nag aspects of going about this tournament, and in case you get a tech judge, I want to go over how you can approach this topic from a technical level. So my first impressions of this topic is that it's really good for tech debate because there are just so many executive orders that you can talk about, and this is a disad I caught from like an example of one of them, right? And I think opposite of Lay, on a tech level, you really want to capitalize on all of Trump's new executive orders because there's just so much neg and even AF ground that can be generated from all of them. And cutting specific disad slash advantages to executive orders really makes it hard for your opponent to prep you out because there are just so many things that they have to potentially find. And I think another interesting observation that I've made is that because this topic is an on balance thing, on the affirmative team on the tech, you can low key make an argument that's like this executive order prevented extinction in this one instance in the past, and I'm not really sure how the negative is able to win time frame weighing against that because you are already winning. That the only reason that we are alive in the status quo is because of an executive order that was passed like previously, which means that definitionally you are winning time frame weighing. So that's something that you can definitely look into if you're thinking of cutting a tech af contention for this topic. Now let's go into this specific disad that I cut. I sort of recycled one of the nuclear energy disads, which is why these. So you might want to like recut some of these cards a bit, but I like re-highlighted them for the purposes of this topic. So this park evidence is actually really good. It says that Trump wants to resume testing through an executive order, which is here. The president must declare a national emergency, and he has to do, and a national emergency can only be declared through an executive order. So this is topical, and this card also answers like the Congress thump stuff right here. It says that Congress will intervene to stop it, and that Republicans are wary of public backlash, which is like two front lines you could give. And here you could also actually I'm gonna highlight this warrant. Here it also says that before like during this would give Democrats an opportunity after midterms when they have more seats to like block testing, which means that Congress definitely doesn't dump, and the only way that sort of testing can be resumed is through executive orders. And it also serves as an internal link to an impact card actually, because it says here that the most realistic pathway is a 6 month rushed nuclear test, and they're magnified under and the chances of that test not being contained, i.e. leaking radiation, is magnified because the proper safety protocols aren't followed. And then you can like this is for like very tech judges obviously, and you can read this Chalco card, which says that using modern nuclear weapons causes a chain reaction within the radioactive isotopes of the Earth's interior that literally causes like the Earth to explode. This is actually also a really good card to like answer Spark, which is why I put it in here as well. But if you want to go for like the more traditional, like just nuclear war, normal nuclear war impact, you can read the Cerencion card, which says that nuclear testing essentially causes other countries to believe that the US is posturing more aggressively, increases the chance of miscalculation, and cause tensions that cause nuclear war. The clear evidence serves as a sort of internal link. It says that accidents or misunderstanding escalate, tensions cause leaders to fight, and it also sort of an impact card. Such a war leads to extinction through famine. So I also wrote some like front lines here to like the main responses that your opponents will make, which is essentially first that the Chalker card is empirically denied. This is answered here, and the impact turn that testing nuclear weapons is good because it deters adversaries. Actually, a third thing you can, if you're going for the Chalco scenario for the impact turn, a third thing you could say is that it's a question of sequencing. Because if you win that detonating a nuclear weapon underground immediately causes the Earth to explode, then there's obviously no adversaries to deter because we would immediately all be dead before that. Then the answers to Congress thumps are all here, and I also wrote some extensions and weighing. You actually do get access to delineated time frame weighing for this argument because it says that after an executive order, it only takes 6 months to do the nuclear test. Um, this is like kind of troll, but you can also go for magnitude weighing with the Chalco evidence and says that the Earth exploding also like definitionally kills every single animal, whereas like their impact, like traditional nuclear war, etc., might not, which is why our impact uniquely outweighs on magnitude.